This may be the #1 issue with selling for most expert providers who have a high-value service. And they probably know this, that there's no quicker way to kill trust than to stop being the expert and start being the salesman. But they don't see any other way. I spent years often forgetting which I was supposed to be in any given moment. Well, hey, I mean, that's just business, right? But what would happen if we became less identified with the idea that coercion is just one of the necessary evils in life, along with the sense of neediness it produces? There's certainly zero power in any of that. And it still took me 5 years to accept. If you've sensed some of that in your life, this video might save you from all that angst and help you manifest your own visible authority. So if you sometimes get confused about which hat you should be wearing when you're with clients, I'd like to suggest laying down the salesman hat for good and putting on your expert hat and leaving it on, because it has special powers. It helps you see the connection between what you do and what real people want and need, and it helps people see how you are the bridge between where they are and where they want to go. And it's a lighter burden to carry, as it's only one hat to keep track of. So, to explain it all, I hope you won't mind if I just, use a little modern-day parable. Becoming a visible authority is a lot like getting a plane off the ground and then getting it safely back to Earth. You need a value proposition that's grounded in some sort of, ground-level truth, or your ideas just kind of fly off for being too lightweight. Your message has to be lubricated with joy and fun, so that when you get to the more difficult parts of what you do, of your value proposition, that's a little more difficult for people to master, well, those parts don't grind up against themselves and cause your clients' brains to seize up. We also don't want our yoke going in one direction while our wings go in another. We want them interlocked properly so that our message can be really easily understood by someone who is, after all, a non-expert. We also need the clean fuel of intention to make sure our message isn't contaminated with coercion. And of course, we need a tank full of good, high-powered ideas in order to stay aloft. We need to know the destination of this message, in other words, who we want to work with and in what capacity. Do we sell products or services, or we want to turn a product into a service, or vice versa? A million possible destinations. We just need to decide on one. And it would be good to know who we're talking to dial in that frequency. The wrong person won't have any idea what you're talking about, and they'll strongly suspect you don't either. We need to know the ideas we communicate have the power to change people's lives, because we fly only as long as that kind of power can be generated. If you let people know what's going on, there's never any confusion about where you are or what you're about to do. Transparency leads to trust. Announce your intentions.
Simsbury traffic, Cessna 704 Victor Lima, departing runway 21 Simsbury.
If your message has wings, it carries your business aloft, slowly at first, as you climb to altitude. Then faster as your message covers more ground from the altitude you chose. That clears the way to choose a higher one later if you want to. Once you've carried your message to the farthest reaches you can, and it's been received by all the people you can best serve, you need to come back to Earth and help them, because they've made their decision. The question is, have you? That's really the most critical moment. In that In that conversation, will you land with grace and accuracy in how you've assessed their needs? Or will you just try to persuade them using tactics learned from the finest used car sales trainers in the land? Because make no mistake, the landing is everything, and everyone is watching how you stick it. It's where your true character is revealed. All your training, everything you've learned and absorbed and lived, comes out in that fateful moment. This is not a message that's going to get me invited to speak at any sort of success summit. All it can do is make you and your clients insanely happy and well off. And the entire process can all be laid out well ahead of time so that a sales conversation is really about nothing more than how you're going to get started. And it also doesn't require 5 years of angst to master. This is something we help our members perfect in Inner Circle. How to deploy the beauty and genius of attraction and let go of the spiraling emotional roller coaster of persuasion. And you know what? Right now, you have the power to choose either of those. So have a good flight, and we'll see you next time on The Visible Authority.